Hello, forensic science classes, and I want to take some time today to go through and show you what you're going to be working on here over the next couple of days. You've already started the assignment you're going to be working on, but I want to give you a little bit more clarification and give you a little bit of some hints on what you can do to improve your case report forms. If you did not get your case report back from the Bunsen burned case study, get in the bin, get those out so you can see the feedback that was given to you and you can see what your scores were and get a better idea. Okay, this is the area where I need to improve my case report. This is the area where I did fine on. So you can have something to use as a reference. All right, so this page should look familiar. I'm going to repost this a little bit later on for you. And you're going to go through and you're going to be working on the CSI experience. You already started the K9 caper, hopefully, and you were supposed to set up a login. So you're going to get in, you're going to log in, and hopefully you've been taking detailed notes on the pieces that you've already done. Find those notes and move from there. It's extremely important, hopefully you've seen by going through these case reports, that we need to collect and analyze as much data as we possibly can that'll help us in solving the crime, and we need to take those copious notes as we're going through and doing so. So please make sure you're taking note of everything you are doing when you're analyzing the data on the CSI The Experience website. Alright, so on the blog posting here, you're going to find this video. Then you're also going to find a link to this particular posting right here. And once again, I would like for you to fill out the online feedback daily. So each of the 2 days that you are working on this, at the end of the period, I want you to click the link, fill out the form. You guys have filled out the form before. You know it only takes 3 to 5 minutes to fill it out. It shouldn't be that big of a deal for you to do that. You will earn your participation points based upon you taking the time to fill out the feedback form. All right, so make sure you do that at the end of the period. And then if you missed when we started working on this, there's a video here of me explaining exactly what you're doing. And then what I want to walk you through is the case template. If you're not familiar with Google Docs, you should get yourself familiarized with it. It's actually Google Drive now. Sorry, Google people. Please don't tell on me for that little slip there. Anyways, if you have a Google account or if you have a Gmail account, you already have a Google Drive account. All of you have a Sparta Schools-based one. Just a lot of you don't know your passwords and stuff, and so I can't really help you out with that with me not being there. So let's make it so that the person in your group that has a Google account, they will be the one that's going to do the next steps I'm going to show you. You're going to click on this form that says Case Report Template. And what that's going to open up is another window for you. And it's going to open it up to show you, here's the report form. Then, and most likely you are not signed in at this point. If you're not signed in, have the person that has a Gmail account sign in, and then they will become the owner of this document. And what you're going to do is on the File menu here, you're going to click File, then you're going to click Make a Copy. And what this is going to do is this is going to take my copy, which nobody has the right to do anything to other than make a copy of right now. It's going to make it so that you are making your own personalized copy of it. And now you are the owner of this document. And the difference that you're going to see is you're going to be able to click and spot and actually type stuff. All right, what you'll then want to do is share this with your partner. So you'll click Share, enter in the email address of your partner. And so let's say I'm going to send this, I'm going to make it so that Mr. Grow will be my partner. So paul.grow@spartaschools.org. And I'm going to make it so that he can edit this. So I want to make sure I have this little can edit thing click, and then click Share and Save. Then your partner should get an email stating, hey, this has been shared with you. Click that little link, and then you will both be able to work on this document together at the same time. All right, so that's the nuts and bolts of how you're going to make it so you guys will have a copy of the case report. When you turn this particular case report in, if you want to print it off because that's your comfort, do it. Otherwise, you're welcome to include me as somebody that you're sharing it with. And if you include me, just make it so that when you share it with me, you share it to my MrLandrySHS one, just make it so I can comment. I don't need to be able to edit, but if you make it so I can comment on this, I will do all my commenting online. We won't have to waste all the paper. Okay? So that's the nuts and bolts of that. Now let's talk about some of the errors, or some of the more common errors that I saw when you guys turned in your case reports the last time. Under the purpose, Many people left out the backstory, because this is the information collected from the investigators. You know, in your last story, you had a full page, front and back, with all the information collected by the detectives. Anything in that set of information that is helping you to solve the crime should be included in your purpose. So we are in the process of trying to determine what happened to, I don't remember the lady's name right now, what happened to her dog, who killed her dog. Well, we do know this information based upon our interviews with all these people. Include that as your relevant backstory. That's why I gave you the hint. Give the details of the eyewitness testimony, or at least the more important details. All right, so I have this as my guideline. I'm going to type out my response, and then once I have my guideline done, that my purpose statement is done, I'm just going to delete this now, because there's no reason for me to leave the little things in there to help me out. Evidence received. This is the evidence that you collected and are going to be doing further testing on. You do not need to include results in this section. Many people were including the results. Do not include results. All you're going to do is give a list. So, blood from victim. And I collected, let's say, I found hair samples from training room. All the different pieces of evidence that you collected and that you are analyzing in that lab is going to be listed in this evidence received. Once again, when my section is done, I'll get rid of the little helpful things. What's my claim? Who do I think committed the crime? And give a brief explanation as to why that is. You're essentially setting up a hypothesis. You believe, based on the information presented, that this person did it for these reasons. Don't go into details as to why you feel that way. That's what the next two sections are for. Just state who you think did it and what led you to believe that that particular individual or that group of individuals, or your claim could be you don't have enough information based upon the evidence that was collected to be able to say that this was most likely committed by this particular individual. All right, and once again, get rid of the little hints once you've written your claim. All right, examination and results. Provide a detailed description of the results in an examination of the evidence found at the scene of the crime. Use tables and graphs. You guys did a good job of using tables and graphs. What you didn't do as good of a job on was giving descriptions of what they tell you. What does it mean? So not only state the results of the data, but also state what that then tells you. All right, so we got to take that one step further. It goes back to that whole thing we've been talking about. Let's not give middle school explanations. Let's take it and develop it further. Yes, this blood may have the same markers on it as this particular individual. Well, what does that mean then? Well, that means that if it has all the same markers on it, then that blood most likely originated from that particular person, which means that person was present at the scene of the crime and most likely left some blood there. That's taking your explanation one step further. And then finally, interpretation and conclusion. This is where you're going to explain how each piece of evidence helped you to lead to that particular suspect. But not only get into details on why it should be that suspect, but also use this section to show, hey, if there's 3 other suspects, what evidence helped you to lead away from those individuals or exonerate them? What made it so that you said they are not the person that did this? So essentially, you're answering the question of how did the data help lead to the claim that you made up above. All right, so hopefully this helps you out. Like I said, look at the feedback, look at the scores you got on your previous one. That was a practice one. That one was worth 20 points. This one's going to be worth 50 points, so it has a little bit more to it. So make sure you're taking the time and putting in a good quality effort in collecting that data on the CSI site and then on working on your case report. Your case report will be due either January 9th or 10th, whichever day I see you first. The last day that you will get to work on this in class is going to be the next time that you meet. So you're having 2 class periods in a row to work on this. After that second day, you will not have any more time in class. So if you don't get far enough into it and you don't get it done, then it becomes a homework assignment. I hope that helps you to be able to earn a better score on your next case report. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know when I return. If it's a pressing question, feel free to text me and I'll try to get back to you, assuming I'm not busy working on something else. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.